This is silver on a weekly chart, and the pattern looks almost as expected, except taking longer than I thought. I wish I would have held on a short position, but I did not because it looked like things were steadying out here for a few weeks, and I was wondering if that was the low for silver. So I went into platinum, palladium, and silver right about the time frame when silver was a little bit below 31. So also thinking a little bit about what Jim Rogers was saying a while back. He didn't think silver was going to go below 30, but nobody's Karnak the magician, so they're not going to know for sure. But I looked at something, and I'm just going to say it real rough, from the low of 2008 to the high of 2011. If you looked at a long period of time, if you took like a common 61.8% Fibonacci, it was around 24, 25 roughly. So I expected this to be the final lower low to go below 26. Now, I lost my nerve and got out of the short position. I shouldn't have, and I went long, but I did not go long on leverage because I figured it'll play out. But since things are tanking pretty fast, like today we saw 50-cent move downward in silver, I would like to just see this damn thing tank, hit the bottom, and then bounce. I got a feeling, and I don't want to go. Well, sometimes, you notice how this thing works. Even back here, it kind of looked like it was going to steady out. It dropped a hell of a lot here. Had a week where it seemed like it was hitting in the range. Then it did a final drop. Might be something like the same thing again. We might see some stability in the price around this range for a little bit, maybe a little rise, and then finally take the nosedive. But it looks like now, fortunately, maybe the bottom will be here at the end of May or beginning of June versus much later. And, I know when things are going down, people start talking about $20 silver, $22. They talk about below $20. I don't think so. I'm gonna probably have to go with what I was thinking originally. Below 26, maybe 24, 25. But I got to point out also that everything's dropping. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and oil. Right? Oil, crude oil dropped, the Dow's dropping, NASDAQ's dropping, the S&P's dropping. Now, also, if you look on base metals, aluminum's been dropping for the last month. Copper's been dropping for the last month. And nickel's been dropping for the last month. So it's not just like a JPM conspiracy type thing. Everything's dropping in all the markets across the board. And yes, I know silver seems to be getting hit pretty hard, but there's other things getting hit pretty hard. Nickel's getting hit pretty hard. Maybe not quite as much, but it's getting hit pretty hard. Aluminum's getting hit. So also platinum. Platinum's getting knocked down good too, and I bought that stuff around 1600. But I'm going to wait. Eventually that is going to be a winner, though. It will be a winner. Now, as far as what's going to come up in this year, I still say silver's going to hit record highs. And I know, I'm going to tell you, I heard all the predictions about all the garbage too. Back in April, Bob Chapman, I'll give an example, he was talking about, it's going to go blast right through 50, and then we're going to have it's going to make a big move. Yeah. And, I get very suspicious of people who tell me stuff like that when it doesn't happen. I'm like, well, I don't have a high opinion of him because I looked up a lot of different things, and I don't want to state what they are anymore, but he's somebody I don't trust and at all. And I don't know why people could do whatever they want. But, I know David Morgan and Eric Sprott both sold on April 28, 2011. I point that out several times. Interesting luck. Very interesting luck. That was the weekend. That was right before silver tanked. Actually, that Friday it went down a little bit. And the weekend it just totally tanked. And, something that's to watch for, if you notice, like sometimes if something's way up high and it had a lot of gains, and, it looks good on Wednesday and Thursday, and all of a sudden Friday it pulls back a little bit, I'm going to watch for that because I noticed that pattern happen a few times with different things. That might be a signal to get the hell out, part of it, if you already made a lot of gains. I know you're talking fiat cash, but you know what happens. When silver goes down, that's what you get for it, fiat cash. But that seems to be the case with I've noticed on a few different occasions on various things. You see this little pullback on Friday after a lot of stellar gains after, say, a month or two. Sometimes it's a warning signal to me. I picked up on that before on various things. That's something to watch for. As far as, this thing playing out in the next 2 or 3 weeks where it hits a bottom, that may be the case. And I still think silver is going to go way to hell over 50 this year, and it's going to top 60, probably 70. Now, I know there's been, I don't want to mention any names, but, a silver blogger commenter out there that's got a big channel that talked about $100 silver for 2011 at the end of the year. I personally, I don't have any faith in this person at all as far as any kind of predictions. I think it's all garbage. But, I almost got the impression that that was being played off of Lindsey Williams' prediction. And the technicals are being done to suit that prediction. Well, it turns out that Lindsey Williams was way the hell off. And I pointed out that there was articles out on the internet that insiders from Sprott and the PSLV were selling out of the fund in August also of 2011 when silver was over $40, and also in early September. So people knew what was coming up, and they were advising other people. I didn't notice this article, but I wish I did. I noticed it after the fact, but it was warning people that if Sprott insiders are selling off, that you should too. And I found it interesting. At the same time, Lindsey Williams was calling $75 to $100 silver and other people, and ignoring some information that was out there about Sprott insiders selling off. So actually, I want to tell you, there's a lot of people I don't trust at all. Either they're very incompetent, or they're misleading people. I tend to think the latter. Because in the case of Lindsey Williams, I don't think he knows anything for sure, but the guy that's feeding him information is definitely misleading him. Definitely. He should have known better. And, looking at this entire pattern, the only guy that was actually given great advice was Mark Farber, and I should have stuck with his advice all the way, because he expected gold to actually probably pull back to 1,500. And, I'm thinking, God, it seems crazy. Well, here it is, 1,543. Or he said maybe below 1,500, perhaps. Well, here it is. It's 1,543. It's practically at 1,500. It's probably not the bottom yet. So, when he was saying that, I was thinking, I started doing the fib calculations, my rough fib calculations from the bottom of silver back in 2009 to the height of 2011, like 850 to 48, whatever it was. And it was roughly the 61.8% retracement would have been about $24-25, which, at the time when things were looking bad, people were predicting 21, 20, below that 18. I don't think it's going to go that low. It's probably going to play out just somewhat like the Fibonacci is. Actually, I think that stuff with Fibonacci is a tool that you really need to watch. I mean, you can't micromanage Fibonacci and play it like by the hour. Maybe you could find things in there, but it's a lot tougher too. But when you start looking at the big picture, it really does seem to work extremely well, and it's amazing how it does. But I think people are all part of nature, and they're actually, whether they're computers doing this, people are actually programming the computers, and somehow the damn thing plays out. It plays out just as the laws of nature do. So I was thinking actually gold. If he said gold below 1,500, that would have put silver maybe 24, 25. Platinum probably below 1400. I figured palladium might actually hit below 500, but it kind of doesn't look like it right now because that stuff is in a serious shortage. So it's kind of difficult to state if it's going to go that low. It might, but I think this is such a small market. It's probably getting bought up a little bit too fast. I think palladium probably is, when everything starts taking off, I think palladium might actually outperform silver a little bit, but not by a lot. It's going to be a close neck and neck race. When things finally bottom out and they start going into more QE, there's going to be quite a race between palladium and silver for getting the most gains for the year. And what I'm making is a prediction that I think silver's actually going to hit about $70 maybe this year. I'm assuming that QE is going to come about, and I think they have to make it come about because if you notice, the markets are falling apart in a lot of areas. It's not just silver, it's not just gold, it's all the other precious metals, the base metals, other commodities, the markets in general. A lot of things are going down. So Bernanke is going to act. And true to form, as Mark Farber says, as long as Ben Bernanke is in charge, he's keeping his gold. And even Mark Farber was buying gold at higher rates, 1,600 or whatever it is, because he realizes it's going to be a winner. Hold on to it. You got other income sources, and it's going to play out. So, that guy cracks me up sometimes because he always says, well, I'm not sure, but God, he sort of seemed to call stuff right, man. I should have listened to him. I was getting nervous about this stuff, and I went long. But I could still go long again, but I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I might just buy some gold around 1,500 and just leave it like that and just leave it alone. And I think gold is actually going to top 2,000 this year, no problem. And the silver to gold ratio is going to drop a lot. That's why I think silver is going to go up. But you're going to see all the other metals go up too. But it all depends on timing. I'm assuming it's going to be in 2012, and I think things are actually going to turn around here pretty soon because Ben Bernanke is going to wind up announcing QE. But God, beware of these silver people. I mean, yeah, it's pump and dump, but I don't know. I'm aware of them. I think they're bad news, but I think, if I play this market correctly, I haven't been playing it perfect, that's obvious. I went long already, but not all the way. I'm going to sell off, well, definitely the brokerage accounts, and probably some of the physical. But that's going to be a temporary move. As I stated, I'm not trying to get out of physical and get into fiat paper. I'm trying to get out of physical to judge when there's a pullback coming. It's a gamble. And actually, when I finally do get out of physical, you think I'm going to hold just cash or plain paper fiat notes? No, it's going to be another asset class that I think is going to go up. So, I know there's some people get mad and think, what are you going to do? Take cash? Take fiat? Well, no. I mean, yeah, you take fiat. That's the first thing you get. But I'm not going to hold fiat. No, I'm not going to do that. It's stupid. I'm going to take another asset class that I think is going to go up, that's depressed when I think the metals are too high. So that's the game plan. But not everybody can win at the game plan like that because that basically is a gamble. There's winners and losers. I prefer to be one of the winners. But I do want to interject here at the end. The way everybody can really be a winner and get power to the people is through industrial hemp and medicinal marijuana oil. That's something, a product that anybody can do, anybody can get involved in, and it needs to be made legal, and it will actually have true value to everybody. And even industrial hemp can be used as money. It was at one time. Why can't it be used as money again? That'd be pretty nice. Grow your own money, like having a silver mine, except you can grow some hemp.